Okay, on today's Off the Cuff, we're going to look at probably the heaviest set of restraints that I own. These are actually called kid irons. Okay. Why? Well, because pirates like Captain Kidd were said to use them. Alright, let me show you something really cool about these. These I actually got in an auction, and the label on it said brass Indian lock. And I don't know what they're talking about, because the lock that came on it wasn't Indian, and it wasn't brass. So maybe that's why I got them for a good deal. But as you can see, they're pretty freaking big, and they weigh a ton. Okay? They look a lot like the Lily irons, except they take a separate padlock. There's no locking mechanism on here. And in case you were wondering what they look like when they're on, I don't want to smash my fingers, but it would basically go like that. These two pieces fold down. Yeah, right. And your arms are kept pretty far apart. A little more in the foot. Let's put this on real quick. Ouch. So you would look like that when you were restrained. Let me move back. Look like this. And that's where the padlock would go through. Oh god, I just got my pants all dirty. Some of the collectors that looked at these when they came to my house agreed that they do have a pretty good age to them. Basically, each top part, the top parts that fold down, are actually, I don't know if you can tell, but they're ground down like a wedge so that they would, oh god, so that they would get flush with this bar. Okay, there we go. You can see it's like a little ramp, like a wedge shape, like I said, almost chiseled. And when it goes down, it hits flat. And the same thing with the other arm. Sorry I can't get all this into the frame there, but it's a freaking huge cuff, like that. Now if you put it down the wrong way, with this left side, in my case, down first, see, there's a gap. So that's how you know you did it wrong. You don't want that. When you do it right, the way it was designed, without smacking your fingers, just like this. And then padlock would go through there. Let me see it. Hand hammered hinges, the pin right there. And same thing with the other side. Hope this is coming out clear. There was little bits of wire attached to it. There was nothing on this one, but this one had the keys and the original, the tag that it came with. It said brass India lock. Like I said, I don't know why it said India lock, but these are pretty rough as far as you can tell. It was like done by a blacksmith. You can't slip them. So I'm assuming you could use these on your legs too, but it would really pinch you. But there you go. See that? I can't get my hand out like that, so there's no way of slipping these cuffs. Look at the size of these things. Trust me, they got, it's just a workout actually lifting these suckers. You know, as the legends and all that go, they were used on pirates who had too much grog, which was, you know, rum and liquor. And same thing as the Lily irons, which you've seen pictures of the Lincoln conspirators in. They would just keep your hands apart. In medieval times, I know that there's examples of these that exist in castles and whatnot in Europe. And, you know, some of them would attach to a belt and some would attach to leg irons, you know, that were just bigger versions of these as far as the aperture here goes. Yeah, I can't really date these things. They don't fit in my handcuff cabinet. I actually keep these in front of my fireplace, and I don't use my fireplace. I never light a fire. You don't want to trip over these. Because the lock that they came with was kind of flimsy, I use a Scandinavian, one of these guys, just because it looks cool. You put that on, I'll do it. This obviously is not the kind of lock they would have used, you know, but I just don't like those reproduction pirate locks that they sell. I just like it with that one because it's big and nasty looking. The auction house that I bought these from, they couldn't tell me anything about the previous owner and the auction that these were in. There was just a hodgepodge of all kinds of stuff. This is like the only restraint thing that was in there. It was a bunch of toys and I think some artwork and stuff. So the person that had these in their collection had a bunch of other stuff too that weren't related at all to restraints or handcuffs. It was just probably some oddity that they picked up, you know, God knows when. I really want to get a pair of actual Lily hand irons. I have Lily leg irons, which you saw in the other video. Just to compare, here's my kid irons, right? And these are reproduction Lily irons. These are not authentic whatsoever. But you can see there's a lock built in. I'm not going to tip it upside down. Look at the size difference. I mean, here we go. You can tell the size difference. I mean, it's like Big Brother. The kid irons are pretty much the big brother to the Lilies. I mean, seriously. They meant business with these things. So, yeah, these are the reproduction Lily irons, which we don't go into right now. They're not vintage. I like showing the vintage stuff better. Look at the band width. And there's absolutely no markings on these whatsoever, except hammer marks, where they pounded these suckers out. But even the oxidation, if you could take a look real close, you know, that's proof of the age. These weren't stained with coffee or tea or anything like that. These suckers are old. I just like them because of their, you know, they're so unusual. When people come over, they're like, "What in the hell is that?" So that's about all I can talk about with these things, because no maker's mark. No way to know who made them or when. You know, I mean, it would be awesome if they were from the 1500s, but again, I can't authenticate it. So there's no stampings or anything. You know, it's no tags that said that they came from a castle. Nothing. But the reason I bought them is because, you know, not only do I like the restraints, but because once I took a good look at them, I could tell that they were really old, and I got them for really cheap. I don't know why nobody bid on them. Probably because the bulk of the collection, like I said, was other stuff, and I guess the people that came out to the auction were looking for the other lots and not this one, which was good for me. I just can't imagine what a royal pain it would have been to have these things on. Be stuck in the hold of a ship somewhere or in a dungeon. And they're way heavier than the Lilies, even the real ones, which this is not. So, okay, so anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the quick look at the kid irons. I'm going to show you some close-ups of them in a second. And please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And if you have, hey, great, thank you. And get all your friends to subscribe as well. Okay? And we will see you again next time.